Welcome to the Explainer. All right, for this one, we're going to do something kind of cool. We're going to take a seemingly simple conversation and completely pick it apart, piece by piece, to see what kind of story is really hiding inside. You are going to be shocked at what's just sitting there in plain sight. So, really, how much can a handful of basic questions actually tell you? Well, we're about to find out. We've got a real conversation here, and we're going to see just how deep we can dig with it. All right, first things first. You can't really understand a story until you've got the blueprint, right? So let's start by laying the foundation with the most basic facts. And boom, the very first clue we get is just a number. 5. Okay, so this is our starting point, but 5 what? Let's dig in and break it down. So that number 5, well, it turns out it's a pretty classic family setup. We've got a father, a mother, an older brother, a younger sister, and right in the middle of it all, the person telling the story, we'll just call them our narrator. And then we get another layer of detail, and this one really starts to paint a picture. They live in a house out in the countryside. Instantly you start to imagine it, don't you? Probably a bit quieter, maybe more space. Definitely a different vibe than city life. Okay, so we've got the wide shot. Now let's zoom in on the heads of the household. We're going to profile the parents and see what makes them tick. Our narrator gives us this great quote. "My father is a doctor. He works at the local hospital." I mean, that one sentence is just packed with info. We get his job, which tells you he's educated, but also that key word, local. He's not just some guy in a lab coat. He's a part of their community. So let's put him side by side. You've got Dad, the 41-year-old doctor who loves football. And then you have Mom. She's 40, loves to cook, and she's the one making the family meals. You can already start to see how their roles and interests are really distinct, creating this family dynamic. And then you get this little gem of a quote that just adds so much heart to the story. "My mom always prepares delicious meals for us." See, it's not just about a chore. Those words, always and delicious, they tell a story of consistency, of care. It really puts her at the nurturing center of the family. All right, so we've met the parents. Now let's move down to the next generation and figure out the sibling hierarchy. Because, birth order can seriously shape who you become. And the order is crystal clear. You've got David, the older brother, at the top. Then comes our narrator. And finally, the younger sister, Mary. This puts our narrator smack dab in the middle. The classic middle child, literally sandwiched between their siblings. And we get direct confirmation from the source. When they're asked if they're the oldest, the answer is just plain and simple, "No, I'm not. I'm the second child." And that's not just a factoid, right? Being the second child is an identity. It probably colored their whole experience growing up. Okay, so we've met the cast of characters. Now let's talk about the rules of the game, the rules of the house. We're shifting gears here from who these people are to how they actually live together. We're talking dynamics and, eventually, independence. Their family life is this really interesting blend. On one hand, you have all this warmth and tradition, family dinners, mom's amazing cooking. But then on the other hand, you've got this very clear structure, a strict curfew. It's a household that's built on both affection and rules. And here's the big one, stated loud and clear. Get home before 10 p.m. A specific rule like that isn't just about being strict. It's also a form of caring. It's the line that defines the boundary of their childhood, And then we get the question that completely flips the script. Do you stay with your parents? After everything we've heard about this close-knit family, this one little question feels huge. It's a total turning point. And the answer? This is the big reveal, right here. Right now, no, but I used to. Wow. In just 7 words, a whole new chapter opens up. This tells us everything about growing up, about leaving the nest, that huge jump from having a 10 p.m. curfew to living your own life. It's a massive life transition, and it's all captured in that one little sentence. So, okay, let's step back for a second. Let's assemble that final portrait and really look at the incredible picture we've managed to build from just a handful of conversational clues. And here it is, the whole story in one place. You've got the parents with their different roles. You see the sibling lineup, with David as the oldest and Mary as the youngest. And then there's our narrator, the second child, but with that key detail. They don't live at home anymore. It's a surprisingly rich, detailed portrait, isn't it? I mean, just think about what we pulled out of a simple Q&A. We got family demographics, their jobs, their hobbies, how they all relate to each other, the house rules and traditions, and even a major life transition into adulthood. All of that was just sitting there, right under the surface, waiting to be seen. What this really shows is that every family, every person, has a story that's woven into the things we say every day. And that really leaves us with just one final question to think about, a question for you. What kind of story do your answers tell?